So welcome to the library. Welcome to the Ramatush Aloni Library. That's what I think this is. Thank you for all the library people helping us set up and making beautiful vitrines from Amy and Cheryl from the bundles displays. So, and I want to welcome everybody here. So I want to tell you that on the left side there are photos of the vitrines when they were set up, and then the actual pieces that were in the vitrines are on the displays next to them. So you get a real understanding of all the kinds of things that were put together as bundles. So what's a bundle? What's a bundle? A bundle is unbound individual pieces of something put into an envelope and given to people. Why did we make bundles? Where did they come from? Well, the 70s are really pretty unknown. There's not a lot of rata about the 70s except for a little bit of hip hop. But the 70s were a time when people were exploring how to make society change. There were a lot of changes that were explored during that time. And one of the things that people did is they moved out of the cities and into the country and lived communally and explored agriculture and different ways of living. And in 1971, Peter Berk and I traveled across the country and visited all these communal areas, as many as we could, with a video camera he had been given, and visited, he said we were making postcards. We would stop at one place, they would make a postcard of what they were doing, we would take it to the next place and show them, and those people would make another postcard. So we went all the way across the country, and the first UN conference on the environment was held in 1972. It was in Stockholm, Sweden, and like most places that are produced by the UN, it really was for nation states to talk to each other. But there was so much problems with the environment that were already obvious to people that all the people from the streets, what Peter called the planetariat, arrived and had a lot of a separate conference. They had an alternative conference at the same time as the UN had its conference. There was a conference in the streets. And Peter was very impressed by all the problems with the environment, pollution. I won't even mention them because there were, you know what they are. They still exist. We came back across the country, and when we came back to San Francisco, we wanted to make a network of all the people we had visited because it seemed like if they got together, they could make big changes. And that's why we made the bundles. The bundles were never made by one person. They were always a coalition, a cohort of people, local people usually. The first one, which is the one that you can see with a piece of fabric, the silk screen, the first one was done in San Francisco, and it was just all the things our friends were thinking about. And then there were, and let's see, it was artists, writers, poets, scientists, indigenous people, all collaborated on most of these bundles. And each bundle was a bioregional bundle. Many of the bundles are bioregional bundles where you're looking at the place where you live and you want to know the history of it, you want to know the ecology of it, you want to know the geology of it. And people put together different pieces to represent those things. So for the people who made the bundles, it was a learning experience. They really explored the place where they lived. For the people then, after the bundles were made, Planetdrum sent them to this network of people that we had visited. And for the people that received the bundles, they told them the bundles let them know what people in another area were doing. And maybe they would like to do some of those things. There were, they could look at the thoughts of a different place and get involved and do something. They were inspirational. The bundles were definitely inspirational. So Planetdrum did 10 bundles that we produced with people, in collaboration with local people. And then there were 2 more bundles that we distributed, which were book bundles, which were from another group that was called the Bioregional Association of the Northern Americas. And then, as a result of those, we hoped that they would be inspirational. And right now, there are bundles have been made for the Po River Valley in Italy. There is in one of these, I guess it's in that vitrine, there's the Hudson Estuary bundle, the first one. And there's a second one, and also an anthology, a big map of places and people in the Hudson River Valley. You know, that's New York State. And also there was a bundle that was made on the Edwards Plateau, which is outside of Austin, Texas. And that was done as as these students made a bundle. Those were students at a university that made a bundle of their local area. So I wanted to just give you some examples of inspirations. This was made for the Rocky Bundles, and it's a perpetual calendar. And it was, other people in other places have made calendars like this. Each row, one is the plants, one is the animals, one is the moon, and what's happening in any quadrant is why it's a calendar. And I wanted you to know that you can go online and see, if you go to Re-inhabiting the Hudson Estuary, they have a bundle online that you can download. You can print it out yourself if you want to. It's very contemporary. It's very happening right now. And I wanted to tell you a little story about the piece of fabric that was there. I called up the woman who had written the poem. She lives in Portland, Oregon now. She lived outside of Portland when she gave us that poem. That poem, she gave it to us. This was at a time when you couldn't go to China, but the artist in San Francisco who chose it decided paper cuts from China would be silk screened on the fabric. And we distributed them, and when you get a bundle, all the stuff kind of falls out, and you have to decide what to do with it, which is opening an opportunity to give one away to a friend or post one on the wall. And she was involved with a man named Jack Scott. I don't know if any of you have ever heard of Jack Scott. I hadn't heard of him, so I went to find out who he was. He was living in Portland. She was working with his wife in a community center. It says, this is from Wikipedia, of course. Jack Scott was an American political activist known for his concern with exploitation of athletes and race relations in sport. In association with the radical sports movement of the 1970s. And he's also known for the involvement with Patty Hearst and fugitives from the Symbionese Liberation Army, the SLA, which perhaps you have never heard of, or perhaps you have. So he took Bill and Emily Harris and Patty Hearst from San Francisco to safe houses in Vermont. And he told Barbara, the woman who's listed as Rain for that poem, that every place where they stopped, all the activists all the way across the country had that on their wall. So we hope to be an inspiration for more bundles happening. There's a possibility, I shouldn't mention it, shh, don't mention it. Maybe there'll be a bundle from West Marin after this bundle. So I'm looking forward to this. New bundles forever. So Amy is going to talk now.
Hey everybody, Judy, amazing as always. Talk about inspiring. I mean, the work that you have done over these 50 years, you can't help but be inspired by. And the work of your cohorts too, many of them who are in this room. So we are so thankful to have this amazing activist, these activist elders in our midst. So no, first I want to talk about these bundles that are in the library, the Planet Drum bundles. When Judy first showed them to me, I was like, oh my God, these are incredible. Not only are these artwork, but the work that's in this bundle is still prescient today. This is still active ideas that are circling around. And as I was just telling somebody beforehand, the work that Planet Drum did was so ahead of its time that we're still catching up to in their wake. But that is something that we will continue to do and be inspired by. And so these are the final 2 bundles at the library, and it's been a joy and an honor for Cheryl, Meeker, and I to work with Planet Drum and you, Judy, and the whole team, many of whom are here today, on this project. So thank you very much for that.
Thank you for doing it.
Oh, it's our pleasure. So inspired by the work that we have devoted, that Chris Trajari and I devoted our semester-long program, Artivate Planet Drum. And here we are. Now we're going to talk about you. So on the Planet Drum website, which I highly recommend you guys to check out, and there's QR codes here that goes directly to it. It is hard to find the bundles, but we're working on it.
They're in the library.
The bundles were originally conceived to spread planetary information, a voice for the planet, and to have publishing decentralized, passed around among activists in various locales around the planet, making planet drum beats from various places. The first bundle invited collaboration with, do you have a message to send out? So this semester, Artivate took up this call and created messages we wanted to send out into the world, not only in celebration of Planet Drum's 50th anniversary season, but through their own voices, through what these teens have to say. The teen and mentor artists of Artivate researched the legacy of Planet Drum, printed Planet Drum's 50th anniversary information at key Planet Drum events, which was a lot of fun. The animals, who was there for the animals? Yeah. And
thank you for the t-shirt.
yeah, we printed t-shirts and tote bags for maybe several of the people in the room, and created their own bundle inspired by Planet Drum. When possible, we used recycled or upcycled materials in keeping with the larger aims of the project. So now we're just going to hear a little bit from the teenagers. You're going to show your piece and just say a few things about it. Alex, why don't you start it off?
Hi, my name's Alex. I'm a senior at the Urban School of San Francisco. And so this was my bundle piece. So it's just a piece centered around the California poppy. also known as Eschscholzia californica. And over the summer, I worked as a gardener's assistant, which was very labor-intensive. Don't really recommend, but I did grow, ironically, a love for plants, and I never thought I would like plants as much as I do, but I learned a lot about them and the way they grow and the way they adapt and all the different variations they can take upon. And so I was just wanted to center my piece around California plant natives and their ecosystems.
Hi, my name is Almarise. I'm a sophomore at Ruth Asawa School of the Arts for Architecture and Design, and I made a lino print of a little house where you're able to fold up into a 3D house, and this is supposed to be like Mother Earth's house, and we're just house sitting for her, but we keep breaking things, and she gets angry by setting wild fires, and that's it.
Hi, my name is Kim. I'm a freshman at Gateway High School. My piece is about the Maui wildfires that happened a few months ago in the late summer, kind of early fall. I made this collage. I painted these fires in the span of 2 nights. It's basically about how Hawaii is seen as a paradise, and how it's a very big tourist attraction, and it's not only that, but it's also land to many other natives and indigenous people of Maui.
Hello, I'm Esme Charles, and I'm a sophomore at Archie Williams High School in Marin County. My piece is kind of a letter, I guess, that whoever has the bundle, gets to write out, because I was thinking about kind of the mundane things in life that a lot of us forget when we're living our everyday life that the earth kind of has given to us. And so it's basically saying, think about those things in life that comes from the earth that you don't normally get to think about, and write a little appreciation to the letters, to the world. So on the back it's saying, to the world to which we owe, and then you get to write out what you want. So yeah.
Hi, my name is Devin Zekis. I'm an 8th grader at Marin Country Day School, and my piece is entitled Mother Nature. It's a collage of lots of photos and memories that we found at Scrap, and to me it kind of represents how me and probably everyone else is really connected by nature, and all of my memories are kind of a part of nature too. So I kind of wanted to represent that. Yeah.
Hi, I'm Lila. I'm also an 8th grader at Marin Country Day School, and my piece is entitled, I think, California Environmentalists. So basically, I was researching a bunch of environmental activists that work around California to improve the state of our environment, and I was really inspired. So what I did is I was inspired by neighborhood maps of San Francisco that form the silhouette of the city, and I put a bunch of names of environmentalists and I put it into a silhouette of California. And then in the middle it says, it's kind of light, but it says your name here, because anyone here probably cares about the environment, and we all are, in a way, environmentalists. So yeah.
So as you heard, we are having a reception across the street after this event. Thank you, Planet Drum and Judy, for sponsoring that. And we have a very nice spread, so please come over. And you can ask the teenagers all the burning questions that you have. In the meantime, I just want to say, I'm going to pass it over to Cheryl Meeker in 1 second, but I just wanted to say that City Studio who many of you know is back post SFAI. We have been, which has been one of the larger umbrella for programs like Artivate and peace movements and other programs that we have done. But we have a very exciting new collaboration with new co-directors, including our friend Chris and our friend Justin Hoover, who are taking on a larger role, and we are collaborating with 500 Cap Street to continue programming like this. We're going to send out a new, what's it called, website. A new website is upcoming, and hopefully you'll be getting a note with all of these changes. So thank you for your support, everyone in the room. This is like, we wouldn't do it without you, and this is amazing. Everybody here gets, I feel like Oprah, you get a bundle, you get a bundle. Everybody gets a bundle when they leave. And thank you, Devin, for screen printing the Planet Drum piece on the envelope. So we're all in this together.
Also, one last thing is that there were extra pieces from the bundles that are here, and there are more of them. They're underneath the table. So if you want anything, please take it with you. That's the thank you for coming.
Thank you. Thank you.
Hi, so I'm Cheryl Meeker. I helped put together this from September to December ongoing exhibition here in the library of the bundles from Planet Drum. And I just wanted to say a couple of words about how we thought that it was really contemporary what they were doing a long time ago. A lot of artists have really used the same kind of technique to do other artwork, and it's really in line with ongoing ephemera and other kinds of materials that artists produce. And I wanted to say too, thank you to the library, and I wanted to say a couple words about this Stegner Environmental Center. I want to read a couple things. Evidently, in 2023, the library began to evolve the environmental focus of this center towards creating a culturally affirming space for our local American Indian community as first steward of the land. Please, they're asking you to please take a look around the room to see a growing collection of books on environmental issues, on environmental justice issues, climate change policy and politics, American Indian ecological thought, and more. So it is nice to have this to actually browse in person, to see books on this subject. So it's a nice thing that our library has this for us. Anyway, thank you, everyone.
I have bundles, and I'm happy to distribute them here. And I'd love to see you all and talk with you more across the street at Giro King. It's just that way. I think it's that way. So, okay. Thank you all.